Coach Devin here. I am with our nutritional guru. I said it right. Nice. I have a hard time with that word, but I said it right that time. Jason Ward. Jason is the dude we talk to about food. Jason knows a lot. I like to say everything, but he says nope. He knows a lot about food and nutrition and how it works in your body and how it can help you or hinder you in your wanting to get more fit, change your body, all those things. Jason's the guy for that. So if you do want to get in to see this guy, Jason Ward, comment, DM us, text us, whatever. Jason can help you with stuff.
Absolutely.
Remotely, he does it. Distance, he does it every way. He just likes to help people when it comes to food.
Yep.
And exercise, but food.
Yeah.
He knows both of them. All right, so we're going to talk dieting. We're going to talk plant-based, otherwise known as vegan, vegetarian. We're going to use those words interchangeably, right?
Yeah.
So if you're getting, because sometimes I say vegetarian when I mean vegan or what. Anyway, they're all, you're eating plants.
Plant-based is easier. That's one thing that I think like the Game Changers really nailed was calling it plant-based instead of vegan or vegetarian, right?
So a little disclaimer from me, my soon-to-be in-laws, vegetarian. I used to like to say my worst nightmare was to wake up a vegetarian. I like meat. I like meat. I do like vegetables. It's not that I don't like vegetables. I just, you know what? I eat vegetables. I like meat. But joking aside, vegetarian and vegan and plant-based, see, I'm already doing it. Plant-based can be very good.
Yep.
Right? You can be healthy on this. And we're not going to rip it and say you're a bunch of idiots for doing, plant-based or vegetarian or vegan. That's not real. It is harder though, right?
It is much more challenging for most people, right? If you don't have a proper background on like what sort of foods are going to give you which nutrients, you're going to wind up missing something, right? It's an incomplete diet that does require some supplementation. That being said, most of our food quality now is actually much lower than it used to be. So most people actually require some supplementation, whether they're eating meat or not.
It's a good point. I grew up on a farm. Jay grew up in the valley in Nova Scotia. We had access to like fresh grown stuff that didn't come from a long way away. It's not like that now. Now you're buying stuff that was, grown in Colombia or something.
A lot of stuff gets shipped a lot of distance now.
So the nutritional value of everything in general is lower. It's different. Well, in general, it's lower.
There's also the soil issue, right? Like our soils have changed so much from overgrowing certain crops. Yeah. And so like the nutrients aren't there the way they used to be either. So that also affects the quality of our food.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
So being a vegetarian is not as easy as maybe it could have been at one point.
Yeah.
And there's supplements that need to go along with that because you're missing stuff. And I'm going to let this guy talk about that because I can give like that much information. He can give about that much. Talk to me about some stuff that you say. I said to you, Jason, I want to be plant-based now.
Right.
For whatever reason. Why is it that? What would I need to supplement with?
Right. Probably the first and most important one's going to be B12.
Right.
And again, that's one where most people are actually deficient in B12. It's hard to get it because the quality of the soil has changed. The quality of the meat that we eat has also changed. So we're not getting as much B12 from our animal sources as we used to as well. So some supplementation of B12 is good for everybody, but particularly for plant-based because you're not really getting any from any sources because the only sources that I'm aware of, at least, that are significant and absorbable are animals. So
B12 number one. What's the next one? Let's do it with like the top three.
All right. The next one that I would probably be concerned with if you're in an athletic population, so if you're working out, is your branched-chain amino acids or essential amino acids.
Okay.
So most plant sources will have all of the amino acids, but they don't have them in the correct quantities, right? So the most important one is going to be leucine.
Leucine.
Right? Now leucine is what drives muscle protein synthesis, which is how our muscles repair. Right?
How they fix themselves when you're sore.
That's right. So if you beat your muscle up with a workout, like minor tears and say your biceps from curls or whatever it might be, then leucine will initiate the response that helps it repair and grow.
Right.
If you're not getting enough leucine, that response is inhibited. It's not stopped. So it's not like you can't make any progress if you're not doing this, but your ability to do it is going to be diminished.
Right, exactly. So and easy, like outside of plant-based, easy sources of leucine.
Yeah. So like whey protein is probably one of the highest. And then like any meat source, right? Most of them are pretty close to the same, but like eggs and beef are my other two favorite choices, right? As they tend to be pretty good. Now, if we're talking about a post-workout, there's a little bit more fat usually in beef and eggs, so it may not be your best post-workout meal. That's why a lot of times people use whey protein instead.
Right. And what would be the third one that we'd be missing probably in a plant-based diet that we'd want to supplement
probably
with?
the most common from there would be iron.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So like most vegans and vegetarians are anemic. They're not getting enough iron in their diet. So, because again, most of the best sources of iron are in meat. Unfortunately, for those who don't want to eat it.
Yeah, and there's other sources of iron. Like, I mean,
There
spinach
are.
has lots of iron,
Yeah.
but
It is typically bound up in the fiber, and it's very difficult for the body to access. So we're not getting as much absorption from the spinach as we would from the meat. The other side is that there are some anti-nutrients in a lot of vegetables and fruits that can also inhibit our ability to absorb those nutrients, making it, again, harder for you to get the nutrition from those foods.
which doesn't mean it's impossible, but what we're saying is you do need to plan
Yes.
a lot. I mean, you don't just say today, all right, I'm going to be vegan or plant-based, vegetarian, whatever. I'm going to be that, and I'm going to be super healthy, and I don't have to do anything else. I'm just going to eat a whole lot of vegetables and fruit. It doesn't work that way. It just it doesn't. It's not. That's not real.
It can't. And then the other thing there is that people will switch to vegan and just assume that every vegan option is going to be healthy. Right? This is not the case. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad vegan
Oreos are vegan. All right? So hey, that doesn't make it a health food.
No. It's not
and there
good
are
for you.
plenty of other examples like that. I mean, and a lot of the fake meats that they've created to help.
And they are super
people,
popular.
Very popular.
They're making a lot of money on that
thing
stuff.
Those products are really being driven towards the people who don't really want to give up meat.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying to get people to eat more of those because then you still get the taste, the feel, like the look. See, beef in most cases is what they're doing, and then that's to kind of help people transition, I think, into a more plant-based diet if that's the direction that they want to go.
The problem too is this is super processed stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not. This is not. The whole point or part of the point of being plant-based, vegetarian, vegan, etc., is that you are being more natural. Yeah. But then if you're eating something called near beef or near whatever,
Impossible
and it is
burgers,
super processed to hell. I mean, the first thing I would tell any client at any point, eat less processed food.
Yeah.
The less processing, the better, because then there's less crap in it. This stuff, unfortunately, I get it. You want beef, but you also want to be plant-based. It's hard to do. What do you do with that? Okay, I'm going to get this. Yes, it's a product. Is it good for you? I would say
There's
not a good choice.
obviously no long-term studies on the effects of these fake foods because they're new.
Yeah.
Right? They are, I like to call them frankenfoods, really, because they are just like a conglomeration of a bunch of different things. Like there's a whole process, literally, that goes into making these things.
Exactly.
And
to me, I'm not a fan.
We don't really know. And honestly, if it's processed, you probably shouldn't be having it anyway.
Less processed is better.
Yeah, the less processed food you have in your diet, the better.
So you can be, and there's a lot of athletes now that are professional athletes who are also vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, whatever.
Yeah.
That's possible. It's doable. But what we're saying is it takes a lot of work and a lot of planning, and there's a supplementation that goes along with it. And that's an important thing to remember, because if you think that it's just going to be, and our problem is a lot of people just sell it like, I became vegan and my life changed. Okay, great, but what else did you do? Is there a lot of processing work of supplementation and planning and getting your blood work done and things like that? What were the other things? And unfortunately, a lot of the best way, maybe the media and movies and stuff, they're like, it will change your life and it's going to be so easy. That isn't real. If somebody says to you, if we said to you, hey, you're going to work out and you're going to get fit and happy and it's going to be super easy, that would be a lie. That's not real. Exercise is hard. Changing your diet, really hard. And changing your diet to plant-based, harder.
Regardless of what diet you're choosing to follow, it's not going to be easy to make the transition.
No, right? It takes time.
Your body needs time to adapt. One of the reasons most of these diets work in the short term is because you go from eating a bunch of processed crap, like Oreos and potato chips and ice cream and pizzas, and then you start eating whole, real foods. Right? And whether that's plant-based, keto, carnivore, paleo, does not matter what dietary style it is. That initial change is going to help you lose weight. That's going to improve all your blood markers. You're going to feel better.
Yep.
Right? One of the problems I have with the plant-based diets is the dropout rate.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to stick.
Within 5 years, I think these statistics, 84% of vegans will stop being plant-based, and the reported reason is catastrophic health failure.
Oh, that's not, those aren't good numbers.
Yeah, that people get sick, and this is because they don't properly plan out the diet. Right?
Yeah.
If you get everything you need, if you're very diligent about making sure you're getting enough B12, iron, the amino acids, like if you pay attention to all that stuff, you can absolutely be a healthy vegan long term.
Yep, 100%.
Or plant-based.
The problem is most people don't like to do that.
Most people don't want to plan.
At the end of the day, we're all fairly, let's be honest, we're all a little lazy, right?
I think we're all a little lazy, yeah.
You don't want to have to do a lot of hard work and dedication on stuff like that. Yeah. It's annoying, and since you don't want to do it, you're like, well, I don't feel like doing that. And then you don't do it, and then you get sick. But the same thing would happen if you ate McDonald's every day. Yep. If you're going to eat McDonald's because it's easy, you're going to get sick too. Yep. It happens. It's just, that's life.
Yep. You really do have two choices there, right? Like, be sick because you're making poor choices, right? Or try to make healthy choices and still be sick because you didn't actually pay attention to everything that you needed to pay attention to.
So bottom line, when it comes down to plant-based, if you decide to go that route, if you are plant-based right now, it's going to take some research. Put time in on it so you don't have problems later. There's a lot of overweight, unhealthy vegans, vegetarians, plant-based people, just like there's
unhealthy, overweight people in general. Yeah.
It's not a silver bullet where you're like, bang, and I'm good. This is not the way it works. It takes time, it takes effort. If you put in the time and effort, you can get great results. You can feel good, you can feel happy, you can be, it can work ethically for you. All the things that you're looking for can happen, but it is harder than an average diet. It's just harder.
Yeah. And as I said, there are those deficiencies that you definitely need to be aware of and make sure you're covering. Otherwise,
if you're on top of the deficiencies and you put your time and your effort into it, it's a doable.
Good to go.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. So if you want to try plant-based, go ahead, but there's work to it. Look it up. Listen to Jason.
Do your research first.
Exactly. Do your work. Put in the time. Don't believe every blog and video you see online because they're not put your time and your effort into it, just like anything in your life. You can get positives out of it, or you can get a lot of negatives if you're stupid.
Yeah. Oreos are not a good basis for your diet.
No Oreos. Get rid of the Oreos.
Maybe a couple Oreos.
Somebody's got a bit of a sweet tooth there.
Oh, very much so, yes.
If you have comments, questions, things you want us to talk about, and or you think we're morons because we don't do plant-based, comment down below. Listen, we love the interaction. And if you have another idea for us and you're like, hey, you two morons should talk about this, or I have a question, why is Devin talking so much because Jason knows more? Whatever, we're easy. We just want to give information. Yes, we just want to give information and help out. That's the whole goal of these videos, is that we're just trying to help.
Yep.
Have yourself an amazing day, everybody. Don't fight the awesome.